So the other day I decided to get this camera. Not the other day actually, a little while ago I bought this camera. It is a Pentax 645 medium format camera. She's beautiful, but I haven't shot her too much because it's quite expensive. So the other day, well 2 weeks ago, I went to the middle of Queensland to a town called Winton, helped out on a short film and brought it with me and decided to shoot around, and I just got the photos back. So I thought I would share and review what I took and just kind of talk about it, because it's good to criticize your own work or talk about it, depending on which way you like to look at it. I edited my film photos. I edit them. I don't see a problem with that, because sometimes you get the negatives back or the scans back and they're not what you were envisioning, and that might be due to development, or it might be just due to the photo that you took. So I think it's okay to edit the photos to what you saw, or just like what you were envisioning, because that's like why you took it, you know? So let's jump into it. This first photo, so as you can see, the first on the left is the before and after, is the edited one. I kind of just brought up the shadows and made it a lot less blue, kind of added a little purple in there. What else did I do? Oh yeah, brought down the contrast as well. That's a big thing, because that's the biggest thing I noticed looking at this image. It just felt very contrasty, and that's not a style I like too much. It is actually more true to what I was seeing as well. And again, like my style that I like and that appeals to me is a very neutral and organic look. So yeah, I kind of just want to replicate in the image what I've seen. Next, there's a lot going on here, and again on the left I thought it felt really saturated, and I guess there is a bit more of a Fuji look, like there's more greener tones I would say, and bluish, but a bit of purple and stuff. But I mostly edited this to bring down the highlights, because it's definitely clipped in the sky, as you can see. But I kind of just did the best, kind of brightened it up a little bit as well, and desaturated it ever so slightly. Just initially looking at it, it felt, again, quite contrasty, and the blacks, it was just, yeah, I don't really know how to describe it properly, even though that's the whole point of this. Moving on. This house with like these old cars, which is really cool to me, kind of reminds me of Lightning McQueen, don't you think? Like that old truck that, I don't know, I haven't seen that movie in ages, but yeah, anyway, I just found it really interesting and like weird that they have all these rusted old cars in their lawn. And again, I brought down the yellows mostly, some highlights and whites, just to get more detail in the sky, and softened it ever so slightly, just like clarity, brought the clarity down a little bit, because again I thought it looked a bit too contrasty. So this was the before on the left. As you can see, it's quite yellow, and it wasn't that yellow. Like Winton as a whole town is a very muted, I would say, colours, and like very dusty and old, and so I just wanted to replicate what I was seeing, and colour is a big thing for me, so I, again, don't mind editing it. Yeah. Next is the Winton Creative Arts haul. Again, I just mostly brought down the highlights and whites just to get more detail in the clouds. I want to preface, actually, I should have said it at the beginning, but I just used the in-house like light meter, the in-camera light meter, which is actually really good. And there were multiple times that I was like under or over, so that is probably like the major reason why it's been clipping or anything like that. I just wanted to like test out what exactly I was doing, and I should have recorded which ones were slightly over, just to like really get an understanding and see how much over it would actually impact the image, because like some of the sky has just been blown out and everything. But again, with this image, just brought down the yellows, may have brought down the greens ever so slightly, whoops, because of just it feeling a little bit too vibrant. So the before and the after. Oh yeah, I guess you can see it. Yeah, it is quite overblown at the top there, and I just wanted to bring it down. Even though the left image or the before image looks a lot brighter, which is fine, I still actually like just seeing some of the detail in the clouds and that you can see how far it goes back to. I like that a lot. So yeah. Next, this was a cool house with a lot of stuff going on, as you can see. A lot of colors again, mostly blues and greens. I just liked that the bike was out the front. There were like 2 kids working on the motorbike, and I kind of waited till they left and quickly snapped the photo. But yeah, I just wanted to capture just how much stuff was going on in this person's front yard. Second image is, well, similar image, but just a closer one of the motorbike. I just brought down the highlights and the whites. Again, clipping, I think I just had it overexposed by 1, possibly 2 stops. And again, I think there's like a nice drop off of bokeh. This next image was really cool, very muted, but it originally came out quite blue and contrasty again, which is not something I like and isn't something that I saw. So I just wanted to replicate what I was seeing. So I just brought down the blues and the highlights a little bit, and mostly the saturation. It just came out like not what I was expecting. I don't know what I did, but it's interesting. This next image, just a classic like wide shot, brought down the highlights and whites again. I guess that's a running theme at the moment with this roll, but and some of the greens, just because those trees were real popping. It's kind of funny, the sign, up the Mighty Devils, whoever they are, up the Mighty Devils. Before and after, it wasn't a major edit, I would say, just again, that detail in the highlights, in the clouds, so bringing down the highlights and stuff, so yeah. This image, when I first saw it, I did not like it at all. Like, I guess it's kind of one of those images where you take a photo and then, or you see it with your eye and you're like, oh, that would be a cool photo, and then you take it and it doesn't really come out how you like. So that's a clear example. Just, I guess I was cutting off like the front of the motorbike there, like, but when I was looking at it with my eye, like I could see it, and I don't know, whatever it was, and it just seemed kind of contrasty and not exactly what I wanted. So yeah, do with that whatever. Just the befores and afters, again bringing down those highlights and whites, like just felt a little bit too bright for me. This one I like a lot. I did bring down the yellows. It was quite yellow originally, and I think some of the highlights as well, just to get again detail in the clouds. And yeah, I think that was mostly it. Let's just look. Yeah, I guess the whites and the highlights, like obviously the first image, or the image on the left, the original, is a lot brighter, but there's something that's a little bit too, I don't know, overexposed, and just wasn't, I didn't like the look of how the car looked compared to this one, just like a more softer, chill vibe. So yeah, I like this image a lot. I like the composition of it. I like the weirdness that there's just like an old rundown car amongst all these cactus. And yeah, it's just in someone's yard. This was kind of just a side profile of the same image. I like the composition of it. I like that the car is hidden. It's a little bit too dark. I have edited it, but I just don't know. I want to play with it a little bit more, I think, just to maybe bring up the shadows a little bit more before anything else. Yeah, it is what it is. This next image I love a lot, actually. I like the composition, but also I love that the drum kit is in focus, and I kind of got the aperture right on that, because the fall off to the background like still gives context to it, yet it isn't the main focus. I love the light and the colors in this. It really kind of nailed like the mutedy yet interesting tones and wackiness of Winton, like with the junkyard in the background and like all the stuff, even though there's like colors going on, even similar colors to the drum kit, it's not overbearing and it's not like taking over. Yeah, it's cool. Let's look at the before. Oh yeah, I think I just again brought down highlights and stuff. It was a little bit bright, but I don't know, I guess it's personal preference. I just did that. Coming back from the music fence where the drum kit was, I took this because I thought it would be really interesting to see the detail from medium format. Didn't really come out how I wanted. Again, it came out quite contrasty, like look at the blacks over here. Like it, I don't know, I just don't like it. Even the sky, just something feels very contrasty or like very kind of Instagram-y filter, which kind of sucks because it's medium format. But I guess I still like it. I don't know how to really play with it. Like you can still see like the amount of detail in the image, which I guess was actually the purpose. For me at least, like it doesn't have to nail the colors and stuff, even though that is a big perk. I just, yeah, I like the amount of detail you can see, and like you can just kind of see for miles, but just the color of it, I don't know what happened. This one's nice, just like everyone last day, packed bags and like going to the bus, waiting for the bus. Mostly, again, just those highlights are clipping. I don't know what was going on. I'm pretty sure like the in-camera meter was like on okay, which means that like it's correctly exposed, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like the focus, like the people and the colors in it still look really nice. Again, turning down those highlights and whites for sure. And even turn down yellows ever so slightly, because just like back here, the tin, just like a little bit too much for me at least. So yeah, and then we've got this funky photo of me, which is actually has really warmed up to me now. I did crop it in just a little bit because there was some space over on the right, but yeah, before I wasn't enjoying this photo. I don't know, I think it was just like my expression, but I'm liking it a lot more and more. But then this is the before and after. I mostly just turned down, again, some highlights from the back, even though yeah, it's okay. Like there's not really too much there, shadows and whites and stuff. So, but yeah, those are my photos. I'm gonna close that up and put it away. I thought I would just make the video. I don't know if I really explained it right. I apologize that people have been just chatting in the background. But yeah, anyway, that's it from me. I'm keen to make some more film photography videos, and catch you later.